everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I am sharing with you this tutorial on how to do this super cute plaid pumpkin, and these became super popular last year and I think they're going to be continuing to be popular this year as well for fall. So let's get started with the supplies that I used to create these. First, I used Luxio in the color Virtue, which is a really bright orange red. So I wanted to use a red and I figured the more orange side of the red would be a great one for fall. The next color is Luxio Polar, which is their brightest white gel polish. This is hands down my favorite white gel polish, so if you're looking for a good one, I definitely recommend this one. Next, I used my options from Akzentz, their glass black gel. And then I also used their gel play paint Line It Black. It's a black gel paint. And I used their gel play glitter golden nugget, which is a gold gel paint. Then a couple of brushes that I used the Akzentz Art 02 brush, which looks like this. It's a kind of detailer brush, and I used the Magpie detailer, which is a lot smaller. This is pretty new in my collection. I'm actually really loving this brush. To start the design, I am doing 2 coats of that really bright orange red, and I'm making sure to cure in between each coat for 30 seconds. The Luxio gel polishes need a 30-second cure in UV LED. So I'm going to do 2 coats of that, and then I'm going to move on to the pumpkin design. For the pumpkin, I am going to use my white gel polish and just paint it right over top of that red. This white gel polish is one of my favorites, so it definitely is very pigmented and opaque, so you don't have to worry that it's not going to look as white over the red. I know there's some other brands that make some good white gel polishes as well, but I just found this to be the easiest way to make the pumpkin is to use my white gel polish, and I'm just making a couple swipes across the nail, almost like a heart, but kind of like a sideways heart, so it's kind of like the pumpkin is at an angle. So I'm going to do a coat of that, cure that, and then I'm going to do a second coat. Next, I am taking my options glass black gel, which is a sheer black gel. I know it looks just black in the pot. And I'm taking this small brush and I'm going to start painting the plaid pattern. And I'm going to do the pattern at an angle. I'm not going to do it straight across and up and down. I'm actually going to angle it. So I'm just painting some angled stripes inside of the pumpkin, and if your line isn't quite as neat as you want it to be, you can always take a brush and just kind of clean it up. I find that it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect with this type of design, but I do use my brush a couple times just to clean up the edges and make it so I can get a fairly good straight line. So once I have cured that set of lines, I'm going to go the opposite direction and I'm going to paint another set of lines over top. And as you kind of cross over each other with that sheer black, they will kind of darken in the areas that they cross over, which is going to kind of give you that plaid pattern that I think it's called like gingham plaid is the name of it, but that will kind of give that effect. So once I've cured the first part of the plaid design, I'm going to use a palette and some of my black gel paint. I actually made this palette out of resin at home during lockdown, so if you are wondering where I got it, I actually made it myself. And I am using my detailer brush, which you can see is quite a bit smaller than the previous brush. And I am loading that brush up with black gel paint from my palette, and I'm just going in where the 2 glass black lines meet. I'm going to go in and do almost like little hash marks, and that is going to create that plaid look. Also, just a quick tip, if you are not used to hand painting or you are not quite sure how well each step is going to go, you can always flash cure after each step. So that way, if you mess up later, you can always wipe it off and the rest of your design has been cured, so it's not going to come off. Now I am starting to outline the pumpkin, and you can see I always use my pinky and I anchor my hand so that when I am hand painting, my hand is not super wobbly and all over the place. So make sure you are anchoring yourself with your pinky to create some nice smooth lines. So I'm just going around the top of the pumpkin, and then I'm going to start doing the inside lines. So I'm creating a line and I'm following that curve of the pumpkin. Then I'm moving on to the next one, again following the same curve. And then when I switch to the other side, I'm actually going to follow that curve. And then one last one right in between those, kind of following that left side curve as well. Now I'm just kind of retracing them just to make sure they're all the same thickness, kind of aiming towards that thickness of the border or the outside lines of the pumpkin. And then once I have finished those lines, I'm going to cure that. Now I'm moving on to the stem. So I'm using my same gel paint and I am creating a little stem out from the pumpkin, the center, and I'm wanting it wider at the top and skinnier towards the bottom. So I'm going to do the outline of that and then just paint the inside. Now for the little leaf, I decided to use that glitter golden nugget gel paint. This is one of my hands down favorite gold gel paints. It's so sparkly and I just love it. It just pops over every single color. So I painted a little leaf on there with the gold gel paint, and then I'm just using my detailer brush again and the black gel paint to outline it. Once I cured the outline, I went back in a second time with that gold gel paint, and I'm doing this because it kind of helps thin out that black outline a little bit, and I wasn't super happy with the exact shape of the leaf, so I just went over the top again with that gold gel paint just to refine it a little bit. Once everything is cured and I'm happy with it, now I am top coating, and I decided to show you guys what it would look like matte and shiny. Also, if you'll notice, when I top coated with the matte top coat, the red pigment from the red gel polish, it did slide over onto that white just a little bit. So if that happens to you, just take that same brush, it's the same brush for the matte top coat, and just kind of clean it up a little bit. But here is what it looks like side by side, matte and shiny. Which one is your favorite? I kind of like the matte, honestly. I'm usually a shiny person, but the matte looks awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I would love it if you recreate it to tag me at Nails by Katie Dutra on Instagram and Facebook. So don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.